If you think that they can treat 3 members of Congress like this and a mayor, the mayor of the largest city in New Jersey, they will treat anybody any kind of way. They are. Each and every day, they are treating people with no respect, no dignity, and they are reckless and unhinged. And we will not stand for this. Right now, we want our mayor released. Right now. Right now.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the weaponization of law enforcement in the United States of America. Do you understand what that means? That means that none of us are safe. We will not accept this.
Democratic members of Congress from New Jersey today protesting the arrest of Newark Mayor Ras Baraka at an ICE facility this afternoon. We're joined by one of those members of Congress, New Jersey Congressman Robert Menendez. Congressman, just take me through what happened today.
Yeah, and I appreciate you having me on because I think it's important to clear the record about what happened. So myself, Congresswoman LaMonica McIver, and Congresswoman Bonnie Watson-Coleman appeared at Delaney Hall. Now, as members of Congress, we have a statutory right to make an unannounced visit to any ICE facility, which we've done previously at the Elizabeth Detention Center, and that was our intention today at Delaney Hall, a recently opened, privately run detention center in the city of Newark. We were allowed in. We were told to wait for ICE brass from Newark to arrive. We were sitting there for over an hour. So for the people out there who are saying this was a staged protest or a demonstration, it's just not accurate. We were waiting to perform our oversight function as we were statutorily allowed to do. What happened as we were sitting there when it reached the hour and a half point was the ICE brass that we had been waiting for came into the small waiting room that we were sitting in, walked by us and walked towards the gate that we came into. I followed them, as did the other 2 Congress members, and that is when we found out or realized that Mayor Baraka was there. And what happened after that was something that I never thought I would see in this country. Mayor Baraka was told he was trespassing. There was a conversation with ICE. Eventually, Mayor Baraka goes back onto the public side of the gate. The gate closes, and that should have been the end of it. But ICE and a member of the ICE team that was there was on the phone with someone who told the person there, even though Mayor Baraka was on the public side of the fence, to go arrest him. And then they opened the gate up. There were over 20 armed ICE agents, over 20, and there's video. So it's clear to see there's a mayor of the largest city in New Jersey, 3 members of Congress, over 20 armed agents and additional ICE officials there. And then that is when they arrested Mayor Baraka. And there was an immense amount of physical interaction, not just with myself, but with Congresswoman Watson-Coleman and with Congresswoman McIver.
We played some sound of yours from earlier, and passions were very high. I just want to make sure I understand the facts. So you're saying that the mayor was not trespassing other than that period when he went into the gate, but then came back out, and so that when he was arrested, he was outside of the gate? I want to do my best to understand the facts.
That's correct. So what you'll see is when he's on the side of the gate that the public can go to, right? So when we got there, this is important, there was maybe 3 people there, right? We went inside and were there for over an hour and a half. When we came back, that's when we saw the mayor. The mayor left to go back to the public side of the gate. My understanding is that he was allowed in. And when I say allowed in, I mean no more than 3 steps onto the other side of the gate when ICE approached him about having to leave because he was trespassing. He goes to the other side of the gate, back to the public side, right? The gate closes. Again, that's where this all should have ended. But instead, they chose to open the gate back up, leave the ICE area to the public side, and that's where they arrested him and put him in handcuffs. And that should all be on video. And it's a pretty clear record, despite what the administration is trying to say, and despite what Fox News and others are trying to say.
Hey, Congressman, it's John Heilman. I just want to ask you, there's a lot of details here as you kind of gone through and painted this picture. I'd like to ask you to tell us how you would characterize what you found problematic about this. Like, what's the headline of the behavior of the ICE officials was what? Illegal, abusive, harassment? How would you characterize it at the top level? And what was the kind of vibe around the whole thing?
It began as a clear act of intimidation. It began as a clear act of intimidation. And when things started to escalate, ICE officials were saying, don't escalate this. So I said, you showed up to engage the mayor of Newark with 20 armed individuals who are masked, many of whom were masked, right? This is what people see every day on streets throughout the country, right? Masked, armed individuals. They approached the mayor. Once he was on the other side of the fence, there was a call from someone, I'm not going to assume who it was, but that had all of these individuals go back outside the gate to the public side. It was a clear act of intimidation. And then what happened was these individuals, ICE officers, put their hands on 2 female members of Congress. Me getting pushed around is fine. I don't mind, right? But what they did to Bonnie Watson Coleman, and especially LaMonica McIver, when we crossed back over towards the ICE facility, towards Delaney Hall, after they had arrested the mayor, a large ICE officer put both of his hands and shoved LaMonica. So I will let the lawyers come to the determination as to what that act constitutes. But I have never seen anything like it in my life. And it was not just unacceptable, but a clear act of intimidation, which is what this administration is entirely about.